Hypothetical question for all my girlies. I want to know what you would do.
This lady is asking a hypothetical question that what would you do if you're in this situation? What would be your reaction? What would you do in this scenario? Let's listen to what she has to say, and I'll be back to share my thoughts at the end of the video.
Hypothetical question for all my girlies. I want to know what you would do. So let's say you've been married to a man for 2 years. And for 2 years, you guys talked about different plans and what you wanted out of life. And this man was all on board saying, I want the same things that you do. So before you got married, you moved to this man's house because he owned it. And let's just say you moved to the middle of absolutely nowhere where there's no really good job market and there's nothing around you. Okay, so everything's going well for 2 years. And then on your 2-year anniversary, your husband packs up all of his stuff and he leaves. So you give him a little bit of space, you're confused. And then on a couple days into him not speaking to you, you send him a message and you tell him, I would love to work this out with you. Why don't you come home? Let's try to figure this out. And then you get left on red. You end up sending a message a day just saying that you love him and you want him to come home and you want to work things out. Hypothetically, in this time frame, you decide to start therapy because you're confused and you're feeling a lot of different emotions during this whole thing. You end up texting your husband and letting them know that you went in for a therapy session because you want to update them and let them know what's going on. And after not answering you for several days and packing all your stuff up and not saying a word, he sends a response along the lines of, good, I'm glad you started therapy, you need help. Meanwhile, in this entire week, you've been sending him messages and you've been telling him that you love him and that you want to work this out, and he's being a coward and not coming home. Once he responds to this message, you send another message and you say, can you please come home? Can we please work this out? And his response is, no, I still want a divorce. Obviously, this is hypothetical because what guy would do this? So after all of this goes down, you get a message from him saying, I still want a divorce. There's nothing to work out. And then sends you a message saying that you have X amount of time to get out of his house. Meanwhile, weeks have passed at this point. He has not come home. He's been going out to bars, getting belligerently drunk, and hanging out with his boys. And let's say hypothetically in this relationship, you ended up rescuing a bunch of dogs together. And not only does he tell you that you need to get out of his house, but that you also need to take 5 out of 6 of the dogs that you have together, or else they're going to be put into a shelter by him. Which, by the way, when this person hypothetically left, they left the one dog that they came into the relationship with at the house while they just went MIA for weeks at a time. So now you're stuck in a situation where you're trying to figure out what dogs you can take, what you can afford. You're figuring out how you're going to pay for therapy for the next year, 2 years after this traumatic event takes place because a man couldn't set his boundaries in a relationship and ran away like a scared little boy. So now you're up against the idea of divorce and you're dealing with a child who, after all of this, says that they don't want to stay married because this person doesn't want to have a child with them. Let me get this straight. You want to have a child, but dogs are too much of a responsibility for you. You will literally get up and leave your dog for weeks at a time and expect someone else to take care of them, but you want to divorce somebody because they won't have a child with you, which, by the way, was prefaced early on in the relationship before you got married. This is obviously hypothetical because no guy would ever do this to a woman, but I want to know what you would do.
What would you do in this situation? Kindly put your thoughts, share your thoughts in the comment section. If you were in that position, what would you do? Let us know. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know why these men do this. Of course, I feel like this happens a lot. Child-free by choice women, you and your partner decide that you're not going to have children while you were still dating, the whole love was still loving. You tell them you don't want to have kids, and they agree like, yeah, I don't want to have children as well. Just 2 years in the relationship, you just decide to pack and go. And my own is that it's not like they can actually handle the children when the children is around. Look at him now. Left the kids, left the house without saying a word. I feel like that's a child, because I don't understand why you cannot express yourself. Whatever you're feeling as a man, you can express yourself and come out to be like, oh babe, this is how I'm feeling, this is what's going on, this is what I feel. Just talk. You don't want to talk. You packed your bags and left the house for me to figure out what is wrong with you. First of all, I won't even go to therapy because I'm not the one that has the problem. You are the one that has a problem. So you left the house and assume your woman to figure out why you left the house. She kept texting you, want to work things out. You didn't reply until she told you that she's gone to therapy and you told her she needs help. Okay, now you're telling her to leave the house because you know that she does not even have any place to go. Even if she has a place to go, you told her to take those dogs with her. How many dogs? Not one or two, 5 or something. To take them with her because you know that she cannot take care of those dogs and with herself, by herself. We've weighed her. I feel like these men know what they do. They know what they are doing. They'll weigh you and see the kind of punishments. They call it, I'll show her a lesson, or I'll treat her fuck up. I'll just, I'll let her pay for what she has done for me. So, especially they use the word, I will show her a lesson, or I'll make her learn, or something. It's the way they say. So, they already weigh you and kind of see what's going to hurt you or how you're going to, struggle to get away with some things. So, probably you have seen the way the wife, probably the wife doesn't even, probably when she came to stay with him because he can afford the house, feeding, she decided not to work. She started to stay at home and be, stay at home wife, right? And she's not working. When she's working, she's not earning so much because she's staying at home and doing nothing, right? He has weighed her that she does not have enough money to take care of herself alone, talk less of taking care of the dogs. So now he left the house and telling her to get out of the house, knowing that she's going to beg him. Because some women, when they now see that they don't have any place to go, they have dogs to take care of, they will now start begging, like, honey, what do you want? I will do whatever you want. Don't worry, I'll do whatever you want. Let's work things out. That is what most men do. They will have weighed you and see that, okay, this is my wife. If I do this kind of thing, she cannot survive. She will beg me. Even though they know that they are at fault, she will beg me when I do this. They will do it for you so that you will be the one to beg them. Because how can you and your partner decide not to have children, then 2 years in the relationship, you're changing your mind? And to think that these men cannot even take care of children, to be honest, they just like the idea of family. I want to have a child. I want somebody to call me daddy, my legacy, most of them don't spend time with their children. They don't even know some of them don't even know their children's birth dates. They don't even know favorite color, what they eat, their weight or their shoe size. They don't know anything, right? The little things they don't even know, right? But they are the ones that are always like, I want a child, I want my legacy, I want a child, I want a child. But that's aside. You and your partner decide not to have kids and you're changing your mind. Anyways, it's an hypothetical question. If I was in that shoe, of course I'm going to leave, and it will depend on, first of all, I'm not going to go to therapy because I'm not the one that have problem. You're the one that have problem, right? And second of all, it depends on what I was doing the past 2 years will determine how I'm going to live, right? If I was just staying at home doing nothing, of course I don't have money, right, to go on my own and take care of my dogs. So I'll plan my exit, right? But if I have my own money, like the moment you've left, like what am I still doing? Because for you to pack your load and go and you're threatening me with divorce, we're going to divorce. We're going to divorce. Go and meet whatever woman that wants to give birth to you. But if you think I'm going to compromise and change being child-free for you, it's not going to work. What will you do in this situation? We're just asking, what will you do if you're this woman? How will you do? I've said what I'm going to do. Let me know what you are going to do down in the comment section. Thank you so much for tuning in today's video. It's your favorite girl again, Maria Davies. Don't forget to like, please subscribe, and turn on the post notification bell so you can get notified once I upload another interesting video. And I will see you all in my next one.